So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there.
Hey, I just want to do a quick review of my Grizzly knife grinder. I've had it for a long time, and it's been a pretty faithful companion, and I don't know if there's a whole lot of reviews on this grinder out there, so here it is. As far as I know, this is one of the most affordable grinders on the market as far as a starter grinder for making knives. I think when I bought mine about 5 years ago, I guess it was, they were about $400, and you could save shipping price, I think, if you had it dropped off to a place where they had a forklift or something like that, a business, which I did. I don't know what kind of money they get out of them now, and I don't know about the shipping deal, but I'm pretty sure they're still an affordable grinder, probably one of the most affordable out there in a 2x72 setup. So what puts this thing in the knife grinder class is the 2x72 belt. Mine's got the, I think it's 8-inch contact wheel. I think they do offer a 10-inch on these. The cool thing about this grinder is that you can adjust the height. So you can run, I'm not sure what the play is here. I'm not sure, the smallest belt you can run, but you can run smaller belts than the 72-inch, which is pretty neat. Not a lot of other grinders give you that option. Another nice thing about this grinder is it comes with another arbor on the side here for attachment of you can get, I think you get sanding drums and different attachments. I got a buffer on mine, which I use all the time. Another kind of neat feature on this thing is there's a set screw right here, and if you undo the set screw, you can actually rotate this whole sanding arm. You can rotate it to the horizontal position, vertical, or anywhere in between. Alright, now for the cons of the grinder. There is a reason that it's affordable, and that's because it doesn't have a lot of the great setups like the KMGs and some of the professional grinders have. It's also not nearly as smooth as a lot of the professional grinders. It doesn't have speed control on it. It's wide open or off. And it is a fast grinder. As you can tell, there's also no brake. Well, there is a brake. You'll hear it kick in here in a minute, but it takes forever. There, it kicked in. It takes forever for the brake to kick in on it, which isn't a big deal. I mean, just let it wind down and change your belt. Whereas professional grinders, like my KMG, it's got a brake on it that stops it almost immediately. Another con to this grinder is the platen. It's pretty crappy, honestly. I've modified mine with a piece of '01 steel here that has helped a lot. These things come with just this platen here that you see behind, and it'll come with a graphite coated pad that goes on there, which if you're a flat grinder, that's not good, because it'll convex a little bit, but I'm a convexer, so the graphite pad wasn't bad, but it just wore out so quick, so I went ahead and put I hardened up a steel plate and faced it on my platen here. If I remember right too, I cut this platen off because I'm thinking the factory platen came down pretty low, which left very little slack in here, and if you are a convex grinder, you're going to want that slack. Another thing about the platen is I'm sure this varies from model to model, because I'm sure the tolerances on these things aren't, painstakingly exact when they come out from the factory, but at least on mine, whenever the belt is lined up with the wheel, even on both sides, it's not even on the platen. The platen is off by, looks like about 1/8 of an inch. Now I'm sure you could mess around with that and, cut these stops down a little bit if you wanted to. I just never messed with it. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. I don't need it to be perfectly aligned in both spots, but some people that might bother. Another con about the grinder is tracking. The tracking on this machine is not the greatest in the world. You can't really zero it in like you can a professional machine. So precision work is pretty difficult on it because of the speed and the lack of good tracking. This isn't really a con, but it is something to be aware of. This grinder setup comes with vents on the motor on the bottom on each side. Right here and right here. And you can see I got some tape over this, and this is actually some pantyhose material, and in an effort to try and keep the dust out of it. Another con to this machine, and this is a big one, is the fact that the contact wheel is directly over the base, or pretty darn near it. So there's not enough leeway here to get room underneath this grinder. So if you want to do any kind of work with, say, a large knife, whatever's down here is going to get in your way. I'll kind of try and illustrate that real quick. Alright, I do a lot of profiling down here, and this is where it really kicks my butt with this grinder. Before I got the KMG, this was a obstacle that I had to try and figure out how to overcome, and it wasn't always easy. If you're profiling a big knife like this, you're down here working on the wheel, then whatever's underneath here is going to get in your way. The other problem with big knives in this grinder is if you want to hollow grind or do any kind of work down here on this contact wheel, this motor might get in your way. It's kind of a bad design. Having said all that, about the cons, it seems like a lot, but actually, like I say, for the money, this thing is a really good grinder for a starter, a guy who wants to do some hobby work out in the shop. This is a great place to start. I have made probably, I don't know, an estimate, I've probably made 150 to 200 knives, somewhere in that range on this grinder, and that's what I started out on. And so the limitations of this grinder made me appreciate the professional grinders even more so, and I think it made me actually a better knife maker by learning on this thing. And I still use it. I use it for a lot of my handle work now. I do all my grinding on my KMG for the blades, and I do a lot of my handle work on this machine. So it's still got a lot of life left in it. So there you go. Hope this helped. If you're looking for a nice starter grinder, I think you can't go wrong with this machine. For what it is, it's a great value.